Hi YouTube, this is VidHead85 here, and I am going to be talking a little bit about a development in Virginia that most of you may not, I guess, unless you live in Virginia, you may not know, and maybe you very well may know outside of Virginia if you watch the Rachel Maddow show. But first, about the Republican and the Democratic conventions, watching Mitt Romney speak, and watching Ann Romney speak and watching Mia Love speak is all I gotta say on that. The whole fact of the whole self-made, I built this, I did this, when in fact she had, her husband and her family and people around her who support her. She didn't build it on her own outside of everybody. Same thing with Mitt Romney. He didn't build that alone. He got government loans. He got government money. Same thing with Ann Romney. And also, there's another thing. There's a contradiction in her story that how they grew up. They ate a lot of tuna fish and ramen or whatever. And the only table they had were propped up by seahorses, or two sawhorses or something. But in another spot, they had a lot of investments, and they did not really, they sold it off at their leisure. Now, on the Democratic side, there was a contradiction there with Barack Obama's mom fighting the insurance company, but some fact checkers have checked that out, and I don't know where they got that information, but they said that it was about disability, not her health insurance. So I got some bipartisan dirt there. But now off to Virginia, which is one of the states that can decide the presidency for Obama or Romney. And they recently passed an voter ID law that was by far one of the better ones that I've seen. They actually did require ID that most people have. So that was that was better, and the Justice Department pre-cleared it. Now, in Virginia, in order to get on the ballot, you have to go through like a certain amount of signatures through all the districts. The only people that got on the Virginia primary, I believe, were this guy named Virgil Goode, Mitt Romney, and Ron Paul. So I'm starting the article by Mr. David Ferguson, and it says, Maddow on Virgil Goode in Virginia. Friday night on the Rachel Maddow show, Rachel Maddow discussed how a little-known third-party candidate could scuttle Governor or former Governor Mitt Romney's electoral chances in the state of Virginia, and thereby cost him the presidency. At the outset of the segment, Maddow pointed out that according to the polls, the Democrats have gotten a slight bounce out of their convention, but reminded viewers that national polls do not cite elections. Elections are decided state by state according to the Electoral College. It doesn't matter how many votes Mitt Romney gets in California, he's going to lose that state. It doesn't matter how many votes President Barack Obama gets in Oklahoma, he's going to lose Oklahoma no matter what. It's only the states that are in contention that really matter. These are the ones that get fought over once the campaign has been joined in earnest. And now that we are in the post-convention election cycle, Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Colorado, Nevada, New Hampshire, and Iowa will be the focus of intense campaigning. This is where the remainder of the election cycle will be fought out, according to Maddow. What's notable is that some states that are normally swing states are not being targeted as battleground states, like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are not a part of Romney's campaign media carpet bombing of the U.S. And then there's Virginia, Maddow said. Virginia has been weird all year for quite different reasons. Virginia didn't even have a Republican primary this year. Getting on the ballot in Virginia requires meeting a fairly stringent set of requirements. Of the 6 candidates who ran in the GOP primary, only Mitt Romney and Ron Paul were actually on the ballot. One person who did make it on the ballot for the general election in November, however, is a hard-right Constitution Party candidate and former Republican Congressman Representative Virgil Goode Jr. of VA. Goode has been a Democrat and a Republican, but in this election cycle, he cast himself as an ultra-conservative alternative to Mitt Romney. According to Maddow, this is the last thing that Mitt Romney wants to see on the ballot in that state. Salon writer Steve Kornacki joined Maddow to discuss how Goode stands a good chance of acting as a spoiler for Romney in the Commonwealth by siphoning away Tea Party votes and other far-right voters, and thereby throwing the election by denying the former governor the number of electoral votes by a wide margin. Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, a Romney supporter, is trying to have Goode taken off the ballot in the fall. Whether he will be successful remains to be seen. And this is Maddow, How a Man You've Never Heard Could Cost Romney the Election by David Ferguson, Saturday, September 8th, 2012. So just wanted to talk about that since I ran across it. Have a great day, YouTube.